I just got finished unboxing this Mortal Kombat official fighting game pad thing. It's really cool on my gaming channel, so I'll post a link to that in the description. But today I want to talk to you guys about the time I got my teacher fired, and I think it was it first grade or second grade? I'm not 100% sure. But I was an evil child when I was younger. There were a few things that I did that I've already told you guys about, like the time that I stole the hole punch in preschool for like no particular reason. I just like had this urge to steal the hole punch, and then I took it home and I showed my mom, and my mom was like, "You can't steal shit, go bring that back." So I brought it back, and when I was about to put it back in the cubby that it belonged to, I decided to slip it in this guy's backpack that I didn't like and kind of frame him for it. So that's like something I did that I was like evil about when I was younger. And then there was another time when I was on a field trip, and I think this was in third grade, and I had a lot of like guy friends when I was younger, and I like to make a lot of jokes, and I was just like a fun, jokey person. And I had a friend named Cameron, who I think I told you this story as well, but not all of you guys have heard it. Post in the comments if you've heard both of these two stories. I know you guys haven't heard the one where I got my teacher fired because I've just never told the story. I just recently remembered it when I was watching a different story time video. But anyway, so we were on a field trip to the zoo, and we were just all hanging out as kids while the teacher was talking to like the guide or whatever. And my friend Cameron had dressed in like a full suit with a clip-on tie to like this place that you're not supposed to dress like that to, and I thought it was funny, and he was my friend, and I thought we were friends. So I said, "Oh my god, you're wearing a clip-on tie. Are you also..." Or no, that's not what I said. I fucked it up. Let me fix it. "Oh my god, you're wearing a clip-on tie. Do you also have a clip-on dick?" And my friends thought it was funny, but he ran off crying and told the teacher, and I had to go home from the field trip. And that's when I first discovered that people do not take jokes about themselves very well, and a lot of people just don't like to be made fun of, and they can't take self-deprecating jokes. They can't make self-deprecating jokes, and I thought that was kind of sad, because I was like, dude, we're friends. Why can't we make fun of each other? That's something that I base a lot of my friendship on, is being able to make fun of the people that I respect because they know I respect them, that type of thing. And it's funny because I made a vlog recently, and I talked about this a little bit, I think, before, but I made a vlog recently with Jay. What the fuck is going on with my hair? Where we were at Costco or something, and some guy was like, "The way you treat Jay, oh my god, that reflects poorly on you." And I'm like, dude, everyone makes fun of their friends, and everyone, you know, says cuss words at their friends that they don't obviously mean. And then he was saying that if it was the other way around, where Jay was like verbally abusing me in a funny, cute way, that everyone would be like, "Oh my god, you know, Tara's so abused," or whatever, he's a douchebag. But I disagree. All of my friends make fun of me, and I make fun of them, and I could laugh at myself and not take myself too seriously, which is one of the reasons why I do the fan service video, because like, oh, someone's gonna call me a slut, who gives a shit? Oh, someone's making fun of me because I, you know, fell over and I'm a like ditz or a klutz or something. Like, who cares? It's funny. Why can't you make fun of yourself? That shows that you have like an ego or a pride problem, and you're not like down to earth, if that makes any sense. So let's get into the actual story. I was in first or second grade, I just can't remember which, and I had the worst fucking teacher. She was like actually like objectively a fucking awful teacher. She would yell at the students like constantly for no fucking reason, and one of those students was of course me, and she was like consistently just like yelling at the top of her lungs, and I don't remember if she was using curse words or whatnot, but it was just like a harsh abuse of her power, and it was ridiculous. And I knew that I had to tell my parents, so I told my parents, and my parents kind of like talked to her about it, and she was really nice to my parents. And this woman, she was like a stout, like round, evil looking white woman with like black hair and these like bespectacled eyes, the glasses that make your eyes look a lot smaller. I don't know if that's nearsighted or farsighted, but a lot of my friends also wear those glasses, and it looks adorable on them. But she was just like the biggest bitch in the world, and clearly like had it out for every single like young person. I don't know, first or second grade, why the fuck are you being so rude and abusing your power? You're a terrible teacher. Why did you even get into teaching, you know? So nothing really became of me telling my parents, and my parents kind of just shrugged it off like, oh, you know, like it's not that big of a deal, they'll handle it. If it was something so terrible, she would have been fired by now. So what I did is I took it upon myself to stay out too long at recess. And this was a plan I devised because I knew that my teacher would not come out and look for me like she's supposed to, and she wouldn't take the head count and the roll call like she's supposed to. So I purposefully, when the bell rang and everything was whatever, and I was supposed to go back in from recess, I just stayed out and I hid behind one of the annexes, you know, like the buildings that are apart from the main building. And I just kind of like waited, and I waited for like 30, 40 minutes. And I thought there was like, I had an inkling that maybe she would notice that I was gone because I was a loudmouth and I, you know, was a very present person. So if I'm gone, you're going to notice it, right? Especially if I was there already in class and I'm a very tiny person. I'm a child. I'm not like 5th grade plus where, you know, I can take care of myself a little bit out in the schoolyard on my own. I was like a baby. And so she never came out and got me. And then I went to the door, and this was like a horror story to me because I didn't know what to do from this point on, but I went to the door of the annex where there's like a hair stuck to my lip. That's what I hate about glossy lip gloss, I swear to God. But anyway, I knocked on the door and there was no answer. And I like waited and the door was locked and I couldn't get in. And I'm like, what the hell? So then I like started actually kind of panicking and I'm like, what do? I don't know how to get back into my classroom. Did they go on some kind of like guided tour? Did they go up to the library? Like what's going on? And I guess I found out later that they did go up to the library, but I was stuck out of class for like 2 fucking hours. And so I went home and told my parents, and I remember my mom being so fucking pissed off and like going and talking to like the principal, superintendent, whatever the fuck was going on there. I don't remember 100% of the story. I just remember that because of that instance, she was just fired because that bitch deserved to be fired because she was terrible to the kids. She didn't teach us properly. Of course, there's people in the hall bitching and shit in the middle of the fucking night. It's like 2 a.m. Like, why? I really need a house. I need a house so bad. It's frustrating. And there's a baby, of course. There's always babies. Who the fuck raises their kids in an overpriced fucking 2-bedroom apartment? Like, I hope you guys can hear me out there, like literally, because what? I see people with like giant dogs where like there's like a 25-pound limit or less than that in this apartment complex. And I see people with giant dogs that need like free range to run around, and no, they're stuck in a fucking 2-bedroom apartment. I pay like fucking $1,800 a month or some shit for this apartment. Why would you do that when you can get a house for that amount and raise your kids in an environment that isn't like all urban and, you know, whatever the fuck? I don't understand that at all. So I don't know why there's so many children here. I've also seen like mother, father, and 2 like teenage boys and a teenage girl, and I'm like, okay, the teenage boys and girls must be sleeping in the same bed, which is like at this point in your, you know, you're fucking experiencing your sexuality for the first time. Why would you want to do that when you are like staying in the same bed as your brothers and sisters? That's just like something that's so not normal to me. You need your space at that age, in my opinion. You need your privacy. You need whatever. Anyway, did you like that rant? That rant was fun. Yay. And it's not like, oh, she's living in a 2-bedroom apartment because she can't afford anything. This is a really expensive apartment complex. You can go, you know, live in a 2-bedroom apartment that's like really cheap if that's what you need to do to save money. But this is an expensive, like luxury fucking apartment complex. Why would you be doing that? It doesn't make any sense. So anyway, I just want to say that since I've started these storytime videos, I've gotten like an increase in my female viewership, and my female audience, you guys are so fucking amazing. Even though you're the minority in my audience, you guys are like 15% now instead of like 5%, which is amazing. And I love you guys so much. And there's so many of you who are like, you know, following me on Twitch and watching my Twitch streams, and you guys are mods over there because you guys are fucking awesome and you're like-minded and you're like, oh, you know, thank you for helping me, you know, be more open with my sexuality and like expressing my opinions and, you know, being me. And that just, it makes me feel amazing. Like, I love entertaining the men, and I love, you know, talking about the man things that I like the man interests that I have, and, you know, appealing to the gender that I'm most attracted to. Like, that's awesome. But I'm also attracted to women, and I also love women, and it's like a novelty to me to have girlfriends because I don't have many girlfriends in real life. I have like 1 or 2 from high school that just stuck around, and they're like, they have a different personality. It's not like, you know, where you have like a really strong personality, so all of your friends are kind of like, I talked about the Marlena girl in my first fist fight video. Now, she was a friend that was kind of like just like emulating everything I do, and she didn't really have a personality of her own. And it's really wonderful to see people in the comments who actually do have their own personalities and are trying to figure themselves out. And now I feel like I have a bunch of girlfriends that I've never had because growing up I didn't really like girl things, and it's kind of wonderful. I love having friends of both genders, and I love appealing to both genders. And I have a girly side, and I have a side that like wants to show you the makeup that I use and stuff, but like honestly, I don't have a passion for makeup for showing off makeup, I guess. Like, I like doing my own makeup, but it's like a private thing where I just sit there and I'm like working on my canvas and it's fun. It's not something that I really want to show off, and I don't feel like I'm amazing at it, especially in a way that would help you guys. But I do have like a certain specific passion for things that are girly, you know, like Abercrombie clothes and finding shirts that fit my breasts. And there's this girl, Lisa, who I fucking love, who got me to get a Discord server for some of my patrons, and like she's really cool and really helpful, and she said that I helped her feel sexy, or like no one's ever regarded her as sexy, they always regarded her as cute, and I was calling her sexy, and she appreciated that. But what was really cool is like she was saying she didn't really know how, I'm sorry if I'm outing you, Lisa, I love you, you're wonderful. She was saying she doesn't really know how to dress with like her new boobs or whatever, because she got her boobs done, and I was like helping her with that. And that's something I geek out about, like knowing that you're not supposed to wear really baggy shirts with big boobs because it kind of makes you look more round, or, you know, like dressing a certain way that flatters the rest of your figure while also showing off your boobs in a way that you know, feel comfortable with. Like, all that stuff is stuff that I've experimented with, and it's kind of like I geek out on things that you shouldn't geek out on type of thing. So it's really wonderful to have female fans, and I love you so much, and I'm sorry if you're a guy here who's just like, what the fuck is she talking about? Something I wanted to run by you guys real quick is I want to start a series called Fucking Favorites. Now, a lot of girl channels do like favorites of the month videos, and I'm not sponsored by Audible like everyone is, so I don't really have a reason to do that, and I don't like want to talk about my favorite like lipsticks and whatever, but like a fucking favorites would be, it would appeal to both of you guys, because I could do like one girly favorite, and then I could do like my favorite like metal song that I'm like obsessed with this month. I can do like the game that I can't put down this month, and just a bunch of like Tara type things that are like Tara's favorites, and I can call them fucking favorites because I think that would be fun. So it would be like March fucking favorites or May fucking favorites. And I could talk about like my favorite porn star of the month, like the porn video I liked the most in that month, or, you know, things that are just the things that I like, you know, not necessarily just like, oh, the TV show, the movie, the song, and it's gotta be like something popular, like Justin Bieber, Drake, stuff I don't like, you know? So I think that would be kind of cool to start a favorites video, but like a Tara favorites, not like just, you know, biting off of everyone else. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Post in the comments if you enjoyed this. I'm sorry it got a little rambly near the end and in the beginning, and if you've already heard the first two stories, post in the comments. I'm also sorry that you had to rehear them, but I wanted to put into context how I was as a child. Like, I never allowed people to push me around, and I had the sense of humor. Like, in my, I think it was like second grade or first grade, whichever grade, I didn't have that teacher, or maybe it was after that teacher was replaced. But I brought in a full script that I wrote for like a play that I wanted to do in the show and during the show and tell time. Well, I wrote like, it was like a 20-page script or something, and it was like a skit that was very similar to a Monty Python's Flying Circus skit, and it was like amazing, and I had a bunch of kids do it, and a lot of the kids couldn't even like pronounce the words that were on the play, and it was just something that was like really fun to me, and I was creative and crazy and weird from like a very young age, and I'm glad that my parents nurtured that so I could be, you know, myself and actually thrive being myself, rather than feeling like I have to be guarded and quiet and, you know, demure and like not do things that I want to do just because I'm afraid of what society might think of me. I don't ever feel that obligation to fit into a certain stereotype, and a lot of people go like, oh, well, you are fitting into the dumb blonde stereotype. No, I'm not, just because I look like that certain way. I mean, like, there are a lot of things that I don't like about that look. Like, I don't like cat eyes. I like big, round, blue, cute eyes. I like being cute while also being sexy. There's an aesthetic and a proportion that I like to my face, like really big lips and a really small nose and big eyes. Like, that's just what I like, more like a better looking, less bitchy Bratz doll than a Barbie, or than, you know, a Playboy Playmate, like that kind of, like, I take a bunch of things that I like from a bunch of different areas, and I put it all together, and then I add it to my own, like, natural beauty, and I just enhance my natural beauty and make myself the perfect Tara, if that makes sense. And all of that's, like, it's not obsessive, it's not unhealthy, it's just, like, fun for me, and it's what I do. So I love you guys, and I will see you guys soon. I hope you like my Attack on Titan jacket and my fucking Legend of Zelda shirt. And yeah, I unboxed this, so link will be in the description, as well as the link to my first fist fight. And yeah, I think that's about it. Love you guys. Subscribe. You're fucking awesome. Bye.